glamour and beauty regimes from the greatest stars of classic Hollywood. A bit of Greta Garbo, Marlene Dietrich, those kinds of truly fabulous, glamorous women of the past.
How has MAC grown as a brand, do you think, since you've been with them?
Well, I've been with them for 15 years, actually right from the beginning when they first opened their first store in Harvey Nichols. It's grown really well, and it's grown also within the industry. You know, really kind of looking after the industry and producing products which are sort of tailor-made for the industry. You know, it was originally made for makeup artists to be used in makeup artistry, and it still has that essence. And it's constantly evolving, MAC, as well as a brand, you know, in terms of technology, you know, new textures, sort of new products, seasonally about 4 different ranges of colour, almost working like a fashion brand. Hollywood gave us the bombshell and it gave us the smouldering brunette, but you know, the European actresses gave it something which is slightly darker, much more still, you know. I mean, I think Garbo was famous for the most dramatic still on camera. Marlene used to sort of tape herself with her hair. She used to have her hair scraped up so tight underneath, and she used to keep on winding it and winding it, you know, like when you open a sardine can, which must have been so painful.
Well, I think we can learn a lot from those stars about how to make the most of ourselves. You know, we have to take a bit of time and trouble over it, but a little bit of added glamour is always wonderful.
What I've done is erased her brows. I used, you know, Prosaid, which is the latex glue that I got from Screen Face. And then, you know, a layer of concealer, a layer of powder, more concealer, more powder, until the brows are completely flat. And then I used the Silver Dusk powder on the top until they're pretty much flat to the skin and they're invisible. And what I'm going to do is actually shade her eye much higher as well, go for a very kind of lidded look, almost kind of Marlene Dietrich, you know. It's all about a really high contour on the eye. Women have always been fascinated by that type of beauty, you know, from the day when women were almost, you know, impossibly beautiful. You know, you knew perhaps that they weren't naturally that beautiful, but there was the art of making someone look incredibly beautiful with, you know, by maybe kind of raising an eyebrow or putting a shine on a cheekbone or shading.
In the 30s, you could fashion some false eyelashes from a lock of your boyfriend's hair, if you were that way inclined. Claudette Colbert had a very nice idea, I think, which is she wore artificial flowers, perfumed with the appropriate fragrance, so she'd have a little bunch of violets with violet fragrance sprayed on them.
I think in terms of sometimes when you're sculpting eyes, if you use powder straight away, it's so final. Pencil you can move around and you can mould it into a shape. Whereas once you put powder on, you can't really, if you try and blend it out, it becomes dirty. Pencil just gives you kind of cleaner contours. What I like doing is taking those classic kind of iconic images and making them quite contemporary, which we do. I mean, if you look at what's on the runway at things like Dior, you know, if you look at characters like Dita Von Teese, they've taken the essence of what they used to do in Hollywood, that beauty which involves mystique. Some quite dramatic shading. Very sort of basic, you know, matte taupes and browns and ivories. The Maxime Lash mascara, which I like because it's very liquid and very black. But I'm going to really sort of concentrate that more in the roots of the eyelashes. You know, if you look at someone like, you know, Marilyn Monroe's skin, apparently she used to use pan stick and Vaseline in order to get like that certain voluptuous effect on camera. So I think women are always fascinated by tricks, you know, and techniques in makeup, and no more was it relevant than in, you know, classic Hollywood. I think what I want to do is go quite dark. A natural look will always run hand in hand with something that's more done. You know, and I think women love dressing up. One day a woman might want to go out with bed hair and a little bit of lip gloss on and a bit of kind of Kate Moss type eyeliner. One day she might want to be much more kind of formal, sexy. She might want to wear a red lip and a matte face. Gone are the days when a woman just sticks to one look. You know, she wants to bring out different facets of her personality with, you know, makeup and hair.
Like the movie stars?
Like the movie stars, you know, one day a high heel, the next day a loafer. You know, one day super feminine, one day maybe a bit more kind of Glastonbury looking. I think it's kind of the European side of Hollywood, you know, it's kind of more the sort of Garbo, Dietrich, slightly kind of more film noirish, almost a bit more silent movie as well. So the kind of two sides, more the Hollywoods, kind of smouldering Ava Gardner, the Gardners versus the Dietrichs. I love what Marilyn said about, you know, not sharing her secrets about beauty because they were secrets. And I think, you know, that mystique in beauty's coming back. You know, a woman who doesn't go out of the front door without, you know, her makeup on.
I really enjoyed the makeup masterclass. That was just so fascinating to see how those classic Hollywood looks were really put together. And it was just really amazing to see how it grew gradually. And Terry's just such a genius at getting exactly the right look. It was just absolutely wonderful to see that.